Most riders don't crash because they're reckless. They crash because no one told them the truth. These are the hard lessons, the ones you usually learn too late. But today, you're getting all 11. Raw, real, and potentially life-saving. Watch till the end, because these tips might just keep you alive. Number 11. Ride over the speed limit. There's a deeply rooted belief in the motorcycle community, especially among newer riders, that matching the speed of surrounding traffic is the safest way to ride. On the surface, it makes perfect sense. Blending in, keeping pace, staying part of the flow. But once you understand the reality of how most motorcycle accidents actually happen, you realize this advice can be incredibly dangerous. When you ride at the exact same speed as cars and trucks, you become a sitting duck, boxed in, often in a blind spot, and with no clear escape route. Motorcycles are smaller, more agile, and significantly harder to see than any other vehicle on the road. If you're traveling at the same speed as the distracted SUV behind you or the wandering sedan next to you, you're essentially placing your life in their hands. And let's be honest, most people behind the wheel are multitasking, stressed, or just plain not paying attention. They look for cars, not bikes, and they certainly don't react well when a rider suddenly appears within their bubble. The fix? Ride slightly faster than traffic. Not 10 or 20 miles an hour faster, just 1 to 5 miles per hour is often enough to shift the entire dynamic in your favor. That tiny increase means you're passing through blind spots instead of sitting in them. You're ahead of tailgaters instead of trapped between them. You're the one setting the tone, not the one reacting to chaos. It's about control, safety, visibility. By moving slightly ahead of the general flow, you reduce your risk and increase your ability to make quick, safe decisions when things go sideways. This technique isn't about showing off or pretending to be invincible. It's about creating breathing room in a world of heavy, distracted, often unpredictable drivers. Ride ahead of the chaos, never inside of it. But riding faster won't save you if your own emotions are working against you. Number 10. Never ride angry or overexcited. Your state of mind is just as important as your riding gear, your motorcycle, or your training. Too many riders overlook it, yet it remains one of the most significant dangers you'll ever face. Think about the last time you were angry, furious even. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic. Maybe it was a fight with a loved one. Or maybe you were just overwhelmed, frustrated, and feeling like the world owed you something. Getting on your bike in that headspace? That's a recipe for disaster. Anger makes you reckless. It shuts down your judgment. You react, not think. That's when you twist the throttle too hard. Take corners too fast, pass on blind hills, or tailgate someone just because they irritated you. Suddenly, riding becomes an outlet for emotion, not a focused task that demands precision. And if you let that emotion steer the bike, your safety is the first thing to crash. But it's not just anger. Excitement, especially the kind that comes with a new bike, a sunny day, or riding with a group, can be just as dangerous. You feel untouchable. You want to push it. You laugh through corners, race through open stretches, and forget how quickly things can go wrong. Motorcycles have no room for ego or adrenaline. The road does not care how you feel. Smart riders develop emotional discipline. They don't ride to burn off rage. They don't ride high on hype. They know that mental clarity is as protective as a full-face helmet. Before you swing a leg over that seat, ask yourself, am I calm, focused, clear-headed? If the answer's no, take a walk, take a breath, take a beat. Because the motorcycle won't adjust to your mood, but the consequences will. And speaking of clarity, there's one moment on the road where you can't afford to be even a second behind. Let us know in the comments below what you ride and where you ride it. We'd really love to hear from all of you. And like and subscribe if you truly enjoyed this video so far. Number 9. Be ready to take evasive action. Always. The road doesn't come with a warning system. There's no buzzer that tells you a car is about to swerve or that the van 2 lanes over is drifting without checking mirrors. When you ride a motorcycle, every second counts, and sometimes a single heartbeat is the difference between a close call and a hospital stay. That's why riding defensively isn't just a good idea, it's a survival requirement. Staying mentally ready to act isn't about being tense or jumpy. It's about staying loose and alert, always watching for signs. Is that car creeping past the stop line? Is the pickup next to you swaying in the lane? Is the driver checking mirrors before merging or just yanking the wheel? These little things tell stories, and good riders read them fast. That means hands lightly on the controls, body relaxed but engaged, and eyes constantly scanning, not just for what is, but for what could be. Evasive action means knowing your exits. It means being willing to swerve, brake, accelerate, or even drop the bike if it comes to that. It means not getting complacent just because the last mile was easy. You have to treat every ride like the next threat could come from anywhere, because it can. From side streets, from parked cars with doors that swing open, from kids running into traffic, from semi-trucks changing lanes without warning. The key is preparation. Practice evasive maneuvers, drill emergency stops, learn your bike's handling limits. Know how far it takes you to stop from 30, 40, or 60 miles per hour. And don't just practice in perfect conditions, test yourself in rain, on gravel, or on inclines. These aren't drills for show, they're skills that will keep you alive. A great rider isn't just fast or stylish. A great rider is prepared, calm under pressure, confident in chaos, ready for the unexpected. But the danger isn't just on the move, it can strike when you're sitting completely still. Gear matters just as much as skill. We've listed real jackets, gloves, tools, and more in the description, what we trust to stay sharp on the road. Number 8. Don't sit still at a red light. Split to the front. There's a common moment in every ride, the red light. A natural pause, a break in the rhythm. But for motorcyclists, that moment can be deadly. Picture it. You're sitting in line behind 4 or 5 cars, engine humming, foot down, maybe relaxing your grip. You think you're safe, but behind you, someone's glancing at their phone, sipping coffee, or trying to change the playlist. And in that instant, if they don't see you, your life is suddenly on the line. A motorcycle has no crumple zone, no cage. If a distracted driver slams into a line of cars, guess who takes the full force of that first impact? It's not the bumper of an SUV, it's your rear tire, your saddle, your spine. That's why smart riders don't just sit there, they split the lane. Move to the front when safe and legal. The goal isn't impatience, it's protection. Lane splitting at red lights isn't just a shortcut. It puts you in front of the danger. It positions you between vehicles that are not moving, creating a buffer that gives you time and space when the light turns green. You're not between bumpers. You're not boxed in. You're not the soft target at the back of the line. You are in control, visible, ready, and forward-facing. Now, this isn't a call to zip through tight gaps recklessly. You need to scan the situation. Make sure the gap is wide enough. Make sure drivers aren't rolling forward. Make sure you don't startle anyone. Move up deliberately, smoothly. Get in front of the lead car. Position yourself to one side of the lane and be ready to go. Keep your head on a swivel. Because even when stopped, your safety depends on your awareness. Every red light is a chance to make a decision. Choose visibility. Choose movement. Choose life. Even when you're stopped, you're not safe. And when you're in motion, what you look at could be your undoing. Number 7. Stop staring at the danger. Target fixation kills. There is a brutal truth every seasoned rider knows. Your motorcycle follows your eyes. Wherever you look, that is where you will go. It might sound simple, even obvious, but target fixation is one of the most common causes of single rider crashes. You are riding down a country road and spot a pothole, or maybe a guardrail or oncoming car, and your eyes lock onto the obstacle. The fear kicks in. Your brain screams, "Don't hit it," but your eyes stay glued to it. That is exactly where your bike goes. This happens because your hands and body naturally follow your line of sight. The more intently you focus on a threat, the more your body unconsciously steers toward it. Whether it is a patch of gravel on a corner, a set of yellow lines, or a sudden bend with a metal railing hugging the edge, fixating on the hazard invites disaster. To break this instinct, you need to train yourself to always look where you want to go, not where you are afraid to end up. When entering a curve, keep your chin up and your eyes through the corner. When avoiding debris or an oil patch, shift your focus to the path around it, not the object itself. Practice this on familiar roads. Make it second nature. The better you get at scanning for the exit instead of the obstacle, the safer you will be. Your confidence builds. Your riding becomes smoother. And most importantly, you reclaim control from that split-second fear response. If you want to keep your bike upright and your ride safe, train your vision to lead, not follow. Always lead your ride with your eyes and your wheels will obey. But your focus is not the only thing that can fail you when the road turns slick. Number 6, ride smooth in the rain, or regret it. Rain doesn't just soak your clothes and obscure your vision, it completely changes the way your tires interact with the road. That smooth, wet surface, it is not just water. It is oil residue, tire dust, road grime, and everything else that is settled on the asphalt. And when it gets stirred up by that first 15 minutes of rain, it becomes a greasy film that turns even the best maintained road into a hazard. The number one mistake riders make in the rain is treating it like dry pavement. They brake too hard. They accelerate like the sun is still shining. They turn as if the road has not changed. That kind of riding will put you on the ground faster than any pothole ever could. Instead, your entire riding style needs to adjust. Every input, throttle, braking, counter steering, must be smoother, lighter, more deliberate. You want to ride like you are walking on ice, balanced, fluid, and alert. Modern motorcycles often come equipped with electronic traction control, anti-lock braking systems, and wet weather riding modes. If your bike has them, use them, but do not rely on them blindly. They are tools, not substitutes for skill. When the roads are wet, your tires need extra time to grip, and your reactions need extra time to take hold. Overcorrecting or locking up can send you sliding. Instead, feather the controls, take wider lines through turns, and increase your following distance. Keep in mind that painted lines, metal grates, and worn pavement get especially slick. Avoid abrupt changes in speed or direction. Let your tires roll smoothly through everything. Keep your visor clear and your vision wide. Staying safe in the rain is not about avoiding the weather, it is about adapting to it with total control. And while rain is dangerous, there is something even more slippery you might be putting in your own body. Number 5, drugs and alcohol will destroy your edge. Most riders understand that riding under the influence is dangerous, but the real risk goes far beyond simply being drunk. It begins with that casual drink after work, that one beer at the barbecue, or even the remnants of last night's celebration still in your system when you climb on the bike the next morning. Alcohol impairs your balance, your depth perception, your coordination, and most dangerously, your judgment. You may feel fine, but your brain and reflexes are operating in a fog, and that fog can be deadly at 60 miles per hour. Even if your blood alcohol level is below the legal limit, your reaction time is slower. Add in age, dehydration, lack of sleep, or prescription medications, especially ones that list dizziness or drowsiness as side effects, and your edge dulls even further. Your body becomes a step behind the road. Your mind hesitates just a second too long, and in that second, everything can change. Drugs, whether recreational or legal, can be just as bad. Painkillers, sleep aids, anti-anxiety meds, even over-the-counter cold medicines can alter how your brain processes information and how your muscles respond. The result? Delayed braking, missed cues, and unpredictable steering. Motorcycles demand precision and clarity. There is no margin for chemical interference. To perform at your peak, you need all of your senses, sharp, clear, and in sync. Riding clean means riding with every survival instinct firing at full capacity. It means your eyes scan quicker. Your hands respond faster. Your decision-making is rooted in clarity, not clouded by substances. Riding is not just about handling the bike, it's about mastering yourself every time you get in the saddle. Never gamble your life against the bottle or the pill. Stay clean, stay sharp, stay alive. And when it comes to survival, your brakes are the difference between a close call and a coffin. Number 4. Practice emergency braking before you need it. Emergency braking is the difference between a narrow escape and a life-altering collision. Yet most riders never actually practice it until the moment they're forced to, and by then, it's too late. When you panic stop for the first time, on a real road with real cars, real danger, you have no idea how your motorcycle will respond. Your instincts may fail. Your body may freeze. That's why mastering emergency braking in a controlled space can be one of the most important things you ever do on two wheels. Start in an empty parking lot or a secluded straightaway. Build speed gradually and apply both brakes smoothly, evenly, and progressively harder as you repeat. Get a feel for how your front and rear brakes work together. Learn how your tires grip. Understand where your limits are before they're tested under pressure. Practicing when there's no danger builds muscle memory and confidence, and in a true emergency, those two things can save your life. Modern motorcycles are equipped with anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability aids, and highly engineered suspension systems, but none of that matters if you panic and grab a handful of front brake or lock up the rear tire. Emergency braking isn't just about strength, it's about control. Controlled stopping starts with familiarity, and familiarity starts with repetition. This isn't a one-time drill. Just like any skill, it needs refreshing. Try different surfaces: dry pavement, wet roads, slight declines. Try it at varying speeds. Test your responses. Know how far it takes to stop from 30 miles per hour, then 40, then 50. The better you understand your bike's behavior, the better you'll manage your own. That knowledge could be the single factor that stands between walking away and being carried off. Emergency braking doesn't just make you a better rider. It might be the very reason you survive what others don't. Even with practice, there's one place where skill alone might not be enough. Number 3. Know the difference between a low side and a high side. When you ride hard into a corner and realize, too late, that your speed is beyond your comfort zone, you are now in a danger zone with two potential outcomes: the low side and the high side. Understanding the difference between these two types of crashes could mean the difference between walking away with a few bruises or waking up in a hospital bed with broken bones. A low side happens when the tires lose traction and your motorcycle slides out from underneath you. It usually involves sliding across the pavement, maybe some damage to your gear, maybe some road rash, but most of your momentum stays low and you separate from the machine cleanly. In contrast, a high side is violent and dangerous. It happens when traction suddenly returns during a slide and throws the rider up and over the bike like a slingshot. It's a sudden airborne ejection that often leads to far more serious injuries. The key to avoiding a high side when you enter a corner too hot is this: use your rear brake gently. Do not grab the front brake in a panic. The front brake will stand the bike up and send you straight toward the guardrail. The rear brake, applied gradually, can help reduce your speed and settle the chassis without unbalancing the bike. It may cause the rear tire to slide slightly, but that slide, if controlled, keeps you grounded. Most riders lean far less than they actually can. Your motorcycle is capable of much more lean angle than you think. So trust it. Push into the corner, lean your body slightly forward and to the inside, and stay loose. Don't stiffen up. Ride it out with technique, not fear. If you must crash, crashing low is always better than being thrown high. Learn your limits and practice lean control in safe environments. Because when you push too far in a curve, the right instincts will save your life. But here's something no one tells you: your motorcycle might be too good for your own good. Number 2. Use the slow bike hack to stay alive. Speed addiction is real. The more time you spend on a smooth, powerful motorcycle, the more your mind adapts. What once felt fast now feels casual. You begin to normalize higher speeds without even realizing it. Your brain adjusts, your reflexes stretch, and you start chasing that original thrill. But there's a problem. That thrill, it can get you killed. The solution is what seasoned riders call the slow bike hack. The idea is simple. Ride a motorcycle that feels faster than it is. Older cruisers, more visceral machines, or even stripped-down builds without fairings create more vibration, noise, and raw feedback. These sensations trick your brain into thinking you're flying, even when you're doing the speed limit. That sensory intensity replaces the need to actually go fast. Let's say you're riding a modern V-twin touring bike that glides like butter. It's easy to forget you're doing 75 miles per hour. But jump on something like an old-school chopper or a loud, rattling cruiser and 50 miles per hour feels wild. That difference keeps you safer. You stay in your limits because your senses are already at full alert. The best part? You still get the adrenaline rush, the wind, the sound, the vibration, but without constantly pushing into illegal and unsafe speeds. It's not about stepping down your ride, it's about tricking your instinct. Even modern bikes can be tweaked to replicate that old-school feel. Remove the windshield, change the pipes, ride with an open face helmet, whatever brings back that edge. Think of this as riding smarter, not weaker. You're still on a powerful machine, but you've turned your psychology into a safety tool. Stay fast in feeling, slow in reality. And finally, if there's one thing every rider must accept, it's this brutal truth. Want to ride safer and smarter? Like if you think these tips could be a game changer, and subscribe for more essential survival advice from the road that every rider should know. Number 1. You're invisible, so make yourself seen. Out on the road, the biggest threat to a motorcyclist isn't always speed, weather, or even road conditions. It's being invisible. Drivers don't see motorcycles. That's not a metaphor. It's a brutal truth backed by accident reports, insurance claims, and far too many memorial rides. You can wear the brightest gear, ride the loudest exhaust, or paint your bike neon green, and it still won't guarantee visibility. Because most car and truck drivers are simply not looking for motorcycles. Their eyes are trained to see other cars. Their brains are wired to ignore what they aren't expecting. You are smaller, faster, and far more agile than any vehicle around you. And that very advantage turns into a liability when a distracted driver glances left, pulls into traffic, and never even registers that you're coming. That's why you must make yourself seen, on purpose and with confidence. Start by owning your lane. Don't hug the shoulder or drift in a blind spot. Ride where mirrors catch you and where headlights illuminate you. If you're behind a vehicle, shift to the left or right third of your lane so your headlight bounces in their mirrors. Hover there. Let them feel your presence before you ever make a move. Use your body. Turn your head when scanning. Use hand signals in addition to indicators. Flash your high beams when approaching intersections or creeping cars. Make eye contact when you can. If you can't see them seeing you, assume they don't. It's not paranoia, it's survival. You should also signal with intention before every pass or merge. Don't just flip on the turn signal, move deliberately. Let your positioning and timing say, "I'm here and I'm going there." If you ever feel unsure whether someone knows you're there, back off or reposition until you're sure. Hesitation beats hospitalization every time. The more predictably and visibly you ride, the fewer surprises you create and the fewer you'll suffer. It's not about being polite or aggressive. It's about being noticed in a world that forgets you exist. On two wheels, invisibility is the real danger, and your best protection is making sure nobody can pretend they didn't see you. Remember, riding is about more than just your bike. It's about being aware, staying sharp, and making smart decisions. Like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what tip you're going to use first to ride safer. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.